Hey gang, today we're going to continue working on some perimeter problems similar to the ones you saw at the end of the last set of notes. Let's see the procedure first. When doing these types of problems, first, it's very important that you read the problem thoroughly. Don't just start writing out things that you see from the problem within the word problem. Read it, digest it, think about what it's asking you to find. Second, draw a picture that models the shape and label all sides with algebraic expressions found within the word problem. Third, write an equation that models the perimeter of the shape by adding up all the sides and setting it equal to the given perimeter. 4, solve for the variable. 5, determine all the measures of the sides. So take that variable, plug it into each side, find its actual length. All right, let's take a look at a more basic example. So in number 1, we have the perimeter of a rectangle is 96 feet. The width is 3 times a number, and the length is 8 less than 5 times the same number. Find the number and each dimension. So when we're doing these type of problems, it's important that you think of the width as being the shorter side and the length as being the longer side. And then we can start to set this up. So it tells us that the width is 3 times a number. So 3 times a number would just be 3x if we're letting x be the number. So both widths or shorter sides are 3x. Then the length is 8 less than 5 times a number. Remember, when it says less than or more than, you reverse it. So it's not 8 minus 5x, it's 5x minus 8. 8 less than 5x, 5x minus 8. Now we can set up our problem. If we add all 4 of those sides up, 5x minus 8, 5x minus 8, 3x, and 3x, we have an expression that represents the perimeter. The negative 8 and negative 8, same signs find the sum, we get negative 16. 5 and 5 is 10, 3 and 3 is 6, so that's 16x as well. So that expression represents the perimeter. We know the perimeter is 96, so we can set up our equation. 16x minus 16 equals 96. All right, so now this is a basic two-step equation that we all know how to solve. We start by getting rid of the constant. The constant is negative 16, so we're going to add it to both sides. 6 and 6 makes 12, carry the 1. 9, 1 and 1 make 11, so we get 16x equals 112. Divide by the coefficient, and x is going to be the answer to 112 divided by 16, which is not a very basic division fact. So we're going to take out our calculator. 112 divided by 16, and we got 7. So x equals 7. Okay, but we're not done yet. Okay, 7 is just x. We now need to find the dimensions. So we need to take that 7 and plug it into all the x's to find each of those dimensions. So we're going to do 3 times 7. So that tells us that both widths are 21 feet. Then we're going to plug in 7 for x and 5x minus 8. So we get 35 minus 8, which is 27. So both lengths are 27 feet. And a real quick way to check that we've got this right is by adding up all those sides. So you can take your calculator, plug in 27 plus 27 plus 21 plus 21, and look at that. We got the 96 feet they said the perimeter should be. All right, so this one's more straightforward because it tells you straight out what the length is and what the width is. Right? It's not always going to be that simple. All right, so you're doing 2 on your own. You can either pause the video and do it now or come back to it later. For number 3, the length of a rectangle is 12 centimeters less than 5 times its width. Its perimeter is 72 centimeters. Find the length and width. So this one's not as straightforward. It doesn't say specifically what the width is and what the length is. Instead, it compares the length to the width. All right, it says that the length is 12 centimeters less than 5 times the width. Okay, so in this case, because it's comparing the length to the width is just the variable itself. So we're going to put x for width. Then we're going to build an expression for the length based on the fact that the width is x. So we again know that it is 12 centimeters less than 5 times the width. So 12 less than 5x would be 5x minus 12. And now we can write our equation. So we've got 5x minus 12 5x minus 12, x and x. Negative 12 and negative 12 make negative 24. 5 and 5 is 10 plus 2 more is 12x. So that 12x minus 24 is the expression that represents the perimeter. Now we're going to write the equation, given that the perimeter is 72 centimeters. So we have 12x minus 24 equals 72. Simple two-step equation. We start by getting rid of the constant, negative 24, the opposite, positive 24, adding to both sides of the equal sign, results in 12x equals 2 plus 4 is 6, 7 plus 2 is 9, 96. Then dividing by 12 and dividing by 12. Now, 12s are pretty easy, so if you don't know 96 divided by 12 in your head, I think we've done it before, you can count up by 12s. 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, 12 times 4 is 48, 12 times 5 is 12 more than 48, which is 60, 12 times 6 is 12 more than 60, which is 72, 12 times 7 is 12 more than 72, which is 84, and 12 times 8 is 12 more than 84, which is 96. So our answer is 8. All right, so x is 8, but we still got to find the length and the width. So we plug 8 in, and we know that the width is just 8 because it's just x, so we're going to put 8 centimeters. Then we plug in 8 for the length. 5 times 8 minus 12 is 40 minus 12, which is 28 centimeters. So both the lengths are 28 centimeters. And again, I can quickly check my work by adding those four numbers up and making sure that they're equal to 72. So 28 plus 28 plus 8 plus 8, and look at that, we get 72. So we did it correctly. All right,